Hey guys, I'm RozaldVaneGAME. Welcome back to another episode of Lacuna. Last episode we were starting out this game. So far, as I remembered it, it's been a week since the last episode, or almost a week, almost a full week. We are playing. We started off as Mika, I believe. So I don't know how I remember her name, but we started off as Mika. She was in another planet called. Ooh, this one's a hard one to remember. Darvia or something like that? Something with a D, I can't remember. But we were on that planet, things went crazy over there, it was collapsing due to some sort of shaking of the planet, and then, or maybe some missile shot down or something, I don't know yet. We ran through the emergency thing, and the person got to that point with her friend and some lady we saved, apparently. Which I was kind of curious if that plays out as something later on. Don't know what decisions is going to be considered as like important decisions throughout the game, but we'll see. But for this, we're now at a point where we're now playing as Neil, I think is the guy's name, the detective guy's name, who's supposedly needing to meet Banny, I think is the guy name that he has to meet. But we start off with the speaking of Catherine, his wife or ex-wife, whichever it is. I can't tell if it's a wife or ex-wife, but we're meeting our daughter, Laura, who has been kind of like on her own, and that Catherine says that Laura's been wanting to meet with us for quite some time and stuff. So yeah, it's just the gist of the story so far. I felt like, or not the gist, but like almost the entirety of that episode in this so far. I did say I was going to read the news in this episode because I didn't get to read this yet, due to the fact that we were out of time at that point. So yeah, so pause and read. I'm not going to read these long ones. I'll probably read the dialogue most of the times. I'll probably take Drovia. I will probably skim this, and yeah, when we do like a sheet, I think it's called, for like a quiz taking for like all the readings and the stuff we've looked into, which is probably how you investigate in this game, then I will read these a bit more thoroughly. But New Duran, I'm guessing we're in the planet of New Duran, right? No, we're in Garia. I see. Yeah, because we're moving between 3 different planets, I think, or at least 2 so far. So I'm assuming that we'll probably get stuff we'll get as we go about it, I think. New Joran was forced to shut down. Oh, so Drovia got shut down. Wow. 55-year-old Mira? Wait. And Noah. Oh, Noah's that guy. The guy that we met at the beginning of the game with Mira. Oh, that's very interesting. So Mira grew. So that was in the past. The story we just went through was like the past experience of what Mira went through. So I'm assuming that maybe the story takes center on how, like, Mira in terms of like her life, maybe, and how she's involved with Drovia, maybe with Noah involved, I'd assume, because it feels like if there's a center of point to a mystery, to a murder mystery or whatever, Mira might be murdered, and then we have to look into who she is as a person, maybe. Mira Main's parents weren't as lucky, however. Damn. So she lost her parents to that whole incident. Planetary Protection Treaty. Construction of another Duran colony on Drovian ground. So things just went south at that point, unfortunately. Oh, so the mines collapsed because the building wasn't really secure, so the whole place collapsed, or the things that they had was collapsing, and that resulted in their okay, that sucks. So that was what the beginning of the game was. Okay, but I feel like Mira should be a center point to the game somehow, because of the fact that we started off with that. All right, let's talk to Laura. Hey, Laura. Oh, Dad. Hi? You working on your novel? Yeah, no. Please stop looking at the screen. It's very rough. What are you doing here? I thought I'd stop by to say hello. I haven't had that much time for that lately. Did Mom send you? Kinda, yeah. I want to be the truthful detective. I guess that's the person I am. I feel like Neil needs to be a truthful detective. Very, very truthful, very straight to the point. Kind of like me, actually, in a weird way. I am a little bit blunt at times, so I do apologize if it seems kind of rough when it's blunt. But I've kind of started dissociating myself to kind of think before I say the thing out loud, to kind of keep it within wraps in case something like wrong place, wrong time kind of saying happens. But I think Neil in the writing so far seems like it's like reactive rather than actually just doing whatever he feels like doing on his own volition. Anyways, kind of, but she can't really send me anywhere. I came here because I wanted to. Okay. So, how's that novel coming along? Will I ever get to read it? I'm working on a different text right now. I haven't had much time for the novel lately. I'm in the writing contest. Don't you remember? I made it into the second round. Hey, not bad. That's great. I have to knock it out of the park because I have to make it in the finals. All the finalists participate in a workshop led by Hannah Slater. That would be so awesome. Who's that? You don't know her? Seriously? She's the one who wrote The Tree and The Asteroid. She's the best. Sounds good. I'm sure you'll make it. At least one of us is optimistic. I need to finish this within the next 2 days, and it still sucks. I'll leave you to it then. Let me know if you want to go watch another movie. You did like the last one after all, didn't you? I hated it. Sure you did. See you soon, Dad. Just love how he's just like, yeah, I kind of didn't. Nah. I can't examine anything still, unfortunately. I still don't know what the outline note is, but we'll probably get to it, I guess. Alright, we need to meet Banny, I think the guy's name was. Alright, let me see if there's any new things, logs, a short visit. Honestly, nothing crazy so far, I think, but I am very curious about certain things. Yeah, we're in Gahara. Drovia is 22 minutes away. New Joran is 26 minutes away, I think. Smoke and totals? 1. Wait, what is this supposedly? I'm wondering if there's an achievement tied to the smoking thing, I wonder. I'm kind of curious. Press E to download news. Alright. So the billboards are news fronts, I guess? No news. Banny. There we go. That's the person we're gonna be meeting here, I believe. Banny symbolic visits. You know, I thought Banny was his first name. Oh, pause and read, of course. I thought Banny was the first name, but it's the last name, apparently. Okay. President Robertson. Okay, interesting. Oh, that's the end of the article here, or news. Alright, so Banny and Robertson are kind of like people who are sort of like presidents of each planet. Gara and New Joran, maybe. I mean, I'm not surprised by the factor of like planets kind of like trying to vie for like the resources they can find or get. But it kind of sucks that the whole thing is kind of met with like stuff. I can't smoke anymore, it looks like. Yeah. Maybe I'm out of cigarettes, maybe? That's probably what the thing is. I can't tell, really. I thought you could just keep on smoking just because, why not? Alright. Norton. Off-world. Can be anywhere, off-world. Ooh, they're trying to do the full look through of the thing. It's a little sad though because we have black bars on the top and bottom, so I can't have like a good screenshotting thing going on. So it kind of sucks. I can buy cigarettes. Okay, how do I buy it? In a post-cancer time, wait, they have no cancers at all. Smoking is less lethal, but still addictive lifestyle for many. Cigarettes can be bought all across the city. Yours sells home tab lists how many cigarettes you have left. Oh, so that's what that meter was. The choice is yours. Help Neo quit smoking or enjoy some nice views of the city over cigarettes. I don't know. I personally don't realistically smoke, really. Like, in real life, I don't. Truth be told, my dad used to smoke, and that's what made me not smoke at all, I think. That's what made the difference, I feel like, because I just know how bad it was. Growing up, you get all this sort of, like, bombardments of people saying smoking is bad for you and health-wise. And I know that, like, the history of smoking is based on, like, influence, an idea that okay, there we go. I was like, how do I go up again? I know that smoking is more of like an influential thing where people would smoke only because it looks cool and it's very stylistic, both in movies or in pictures and comic books, etc. Noir is like a big not propaganda, but like almost like a propaganda in a way. That's like for cigarettes being a big thing for detectives or people who are, I don't know, doing an activity that isn't just staring at people and talking, I guess. But, I mean, honestly, it's just what that is, I guess, in my opinion. That it's just built for being cool, that it made people really want to get into it.
I looked at my reflection in the glass and down at the layers of city below my feet. I wondered why I'd opened up to Kat about feeling weird at our old place. I didn't want her to think I still missed her. Maybe I did, because something still hurt when I saw her. Although it might just have been the memory of not getting something we wanted, of having failed. As good as we may be at making sense of things, there are some we can't work into the narrative.
Truth be told, this voice actor is pretty good at doing his voice of the character. I like it. But I can't hit that because the microphone's not good enough to hit that. I honestly think the microphone, for me, my microphone is not as like high quality as other people, so I can't really hit like the nice bass line or that my pitch for my voice is really bad. I don't know. Welcome, visitor. Mr. Conrad is currently not at home. That's probably because I'm standing in the hallway. Would you like to leave a message? No, it's me, Neo Conrad. Perform another scan. Scanning is currently not possible. Please contact the system administration for more information. Great. The scanner's probably busted again. I should check my cell. Maybe I get notified about it. I guess. New tutorial. New tutorial, who this? Okay, anyways. People will send you message. People will message you from time to time. Select the tab to view your new messages. Please, I don't need to understand how that works. Oh, there's an actual bunch of email stuff that I have not seen yet. Okay. Thank you, game, for hiding this until now. Drovian classmates. Pause and read, of course. I'm trying to place my mouse in the right, my mouse cursor at the right like location so it doesn't block the text for people to pause and read. They all got detention. Wow, that's interesting. Meeting tomorrow. Gary Long from work. Security department. Intelligence security department. Wait. Why is there duplicate departments though? I'm kind of I don't think anybody does this. Nobody has two departments by name, I think. But I guess maybe because the location is Garian Central Department, which I get. And then, of course, you finish it off with Intelligence Security Department, which makes almost no sense to say department at that point. I think, if anything, it should have been Garian Central Department of Intelligence Security Sector, or I don't think faction is the right word. I think sector makes more sense personally, or offices, I guess, like the Garian Central Offices of Central Security Department or something like that. Because I usually think that we have a lot of that sort of separation to make it less confusing for people when they're looking at it, but I don't know. That's just me, I guess. That's just me thinking of that sort of thing. Confidentiality warning. Okay. Alright, let's see. What's this apartment code email thing? Dear Mr. Conrad, I hope you read this message in time. Your building ID scanning system broke earlier today and is currently under maintenance. Oof. Okay. 9264. Understood. So we need to punch in the code this time. Welcome, visitor. Mr. Conrad is currently not at home. Yeah, shut up. I want to enter a PIN, please. From time to time, you may be prompted to enter a sequence of numbers into a keypad. Whenever the keypad symbol on the bottom right lights up, you can press it by pressing... You can open it up by pressing N or clicking on the icon. Okay. Once it's open, input numbers using the WASD or an E. Can I not? Oh, I can punch it with my mouse. It's interesting that the instruction just seems to be more reliant on keyboard controls, but I think that it probably is doing it because it's trying to match. It's trying to match the controllers, because I think this game is playable on controller, I believe. But of course, it doesn't take into account the mouse cursor thing. Welcome, visitor. You entered the correct PIN. Unlocking door. I wonder what would happen if I entered the wrong thing. I wonder. Did something happen? I saw this icon just react as soon as I just punched the thing. Somebody calling? Hey, Gary. So, wait, I'm trying to figure out what Gary should sound like. Yeah, I guess that would be fine. So, how did that date with your ex go? Perfectly. What do you think? Well, I hope it was worth ditching me. What's the situation? Our job's done for today. Banny and his staff are with President Robertson now. Tonight, they're invited to dinner with some fat cats. Things went over smoothly. Nothing out of the ordinary so far. But goddamn, Banny's guys are annoying the hell out of me. They just don't miss an opportunity to just call us colonists. One more time and I might have punched them all in the throat. Jeez, I'm just reading the conversation. I was like, damn, this is hard to read this a little bit. I've misread a lot of them already so far because I guess maybe when I feel in character, I'll probably read it in that character voice, but that's just me, I guess. I'm just happy they're Johnson's responsibility for the rest of the day. Let's hope that we're all getting along better after this summit. I'm not so sure about that. Did you read the article about the trade summit in the news today? Yeah, I definitely did. The one about Robertson not really planning on giving Benny anything? They've been saying that for weeks. Let's wait and see. What else do you think will happen? Drovian independence? If you ask me, Benny shouldn't get anything at all. We built the whole colony after all. Anyway, Chief has scheduled a briefing tomorrow morning at 9. Don't be late. Copy that. See you tomorrow. So, I'm guessing Neil is some sort of like government agency intelligence person, I guess, maybe? So that's probably what it is, the whole thing. It's kind of interesting to see that he's not just some sort of like police detective. I thought he was more of a police detective based on images and stuff like that, because I don't think any government operative wear trench coat in the way that's similar to a detective style, but that's just my thinking. Oh, that's a funny sway. Okay, we got a pet iguana. Hey, Horace, how's it going? I guess feeding him? That's funny that he dropped some weird food there. And his mouth, he reacts to it. Alright. I'm wondering if there's an achievement to smoke every part of the way of the game, maybe, but that's just me thinking that. But it does give you a good sight of the world, I guess, maybe? Yeah, it does. It gives you, like, this really cool looking scenery. This is a good thumbnail right here. That's a really good thumbnail for this episode. Alright, we got time, so we're good. I don't know. I really don't know if preventing the smoking kind of thing makes any sense to me a little bit, but I don't know. Is it just sitting here? I hope it doesn't force me to go somewhere else, I guess. Like, because sometimes there are games where they'll just be like, you sit there and your choice is made that you can't really get out of a certain situation because you sat for too long or you just started dreaming or whatever. Alright, I'm guessing there's nothing happening. Alright. Alright, down we go. I'm guessing our bed is down here somewhere. Yeah, it's asleep. Is there a computer somewhere here? No? No home computer like Mira had? Alright, let's go to bed. At least take the coat off, you know? Should have taken the coat off for that. Gara Louville. 1840. Hello? Conrad, it's me. Everything alright? It's not. Banny's been shot. What? How? What's his condition? That is not... I don't know, I would have just said, like... Wait a minute. What's his condition? Is what I would say, but I guess it's whatever. I guess maybe it's hard to read it in the way that I think... Like, how do you feel when you react to shock, I guess? Like, it's really shocking that that guy got shot, considering that it's your job to protect him. Man, look at Neil's face, actually. I just realized Neil's face is so, like, it's all like big shock face. He's dead. Where are you now? He's dead? I asked you, where are you? Where you are right now, Conrad? I'm at my place. I'll have someone pick you up. You know, I don't... It's a 15-minute train ride. I'll be right there. Make it quick. I really don't get it.
Fuck. How could that happen? I didn't even dare think about the impending political aftermath. If this was indeed murder, it couldn't be. I hope there was a mistake. Maybe Gary had gone crazy. Maybe I was dreaming. Foreign Minister Banny's death could be the tipping point in the conflict between Gyara and Drovia. This whole visit was meant to ease tensions between our planets. Now it could lead to war. The first interplanetary war. Fuck, Neil, snap out of it. You'll figure this out. Focus on the task ahead.
Alright, well, I mean... There's a new news, I guess, somehow? I don't know how you get extra news. Catherine. Oh, thanks. Hey, Neil, thanks for saying hello to Laura. Even though she didn't show it, she's happy. Okay. History to go. Pause and read, of course. I like how we're just, like, we're trying to rush, but then I just pull up a news and email. Be like... Honestly, if I was in the scenario, I'd be running and checking the things while I'm going there. I'm like looking and just running. Just looking up and down or running. But honestly, you would just run and then you check the news while you're in the subway, which I don't think you can have that in this game because they probably transport you and it's an animation. 1798. Oh, man, this is a long... They... Honestly, the narrative designer or the writer spent a lot of time writing a whole lot of, like... A lot of, like, text to, like... I think, like, expose is the word here. Like, just trying to put a lot of, like, contextual world building to these particular articles. But I feel like there's just so much to hash out in such a short amount of time that I'm like, I don't think a lot of people will be able to read all of this to kind of get the enjoyment of the world building in the sense, in a way, I guess. I don't know. I honestly, personally, the closest game that I'm thinking about in this, which I haven't played yet, which maybe one day I will play it, is Cyberpunk 2077, and I'm just thinking about how that does its world building, but very visualistically, like visually. This one does it very text heavily, and it's kind of very interesting to see the combination or the sort of like juxtaposition of the two. Because I know there's a lot of cyberpunk kind of games, cyberistic future city games that exist. Like State of Mind was another one I played that had just that, and that was very visual mixed in with some text here and there. Alright, we're good. Alright. But it's like, I think some of the historical things are just too slow paced, I think, to make it work for me as a player, to just read through everything every time. Alright. Hopefully we don't miss the train. There's the train. Do I go in here, or do I go somewhere else? How do we do this? How do we get in here? I don't know, I guess I'll go in here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's gonna be an animation, isn't it? Yeah, this is not gonna let me read anything while that happens. Dude, we haven't even saved since, like, sleeping, isn't it? Because I just realized I didn't see the save icon for so long. Alright, we're almost out of time here, so we better... I'm gonna try to get through this a little bit quickly, hopefully. It's kind of cool how we saw some other people in the background there. Okay. I think the icon in the corner with the phone, I think it's called, or whatever the cell phone thing is, I think is very distracting when it comes to like being activated again to show that it exists. Gary. There you are, Conrad. Took you long enough? Evening, Gary. Fill me in. It seems like Banny was shot by a sniper when he was out at the balcony. His secretary was with him when it happened. Clean headshot. He was dead on the spot. The staff's pretty shaken up, but nobody else is hurt. Any developments since he was shot? Anything suspicious? No. It seems that the sniper hit the target and ran. I also asked the staff if they noticed anything unusual prior to the attack. The secretary and the priest said no, and the bodyguards refused to talk to me as altogether. How come? A bunch of radical Drovian nationalists. Conspiracy nuts? Nah, I think they're shocked. Give them a moment. They're all traumatized right now. They're supposed to be professionals. They've got to snap out of it. If they keep refusing to cooperate, I'm taking them in for obstruction of our investigation. This is Gahara, not some lawless rock. Hold on. Did you say priest earlier? Yeah, a guy from Banny's staff, his spiritual advisor, and a somewhat prominent Savient Front member. The guy's frickin' annoying. Calroy says that he's barely keeping him away from Banny's body. What did the priest try to do? Hell if I know. Some weird ritual? Anyway, we're trying to find out where the shot came from. It has to be one of the opposite high-rises, but we don't know which one. I've already started looking into it, and I think we pretty much ruled out the casino. They ramped up security tonight because of a big fancy event. It would be near impossible to get a gun in there. And very stupid. I don't know why you had to say and very stupid. I don't think you need to add and very stupid, honestly. I think that sounds weird. Weirdly out of place for Gary. Anyways, I don't know. I don't know, that's my opinion. Honestly, when I say something like, oh, I don't think it should work here, it's just an opinion. Don't take it straight to say that it's an insult or a bad thing to say. Like, I think it's just a preference to how they're writing it. Makes me kind of want to make it a little bit different. But I'm not the developer. I'm just a person playing the game. Enjoying it, though. But just whatever. Anyways, we need to track down the perp as soon as possible. Get up there and give Young a hand. Copy that. You realize how big of a crap show this is, right? Can't believe he got shot. What did we miss? I mean, we checked everything. Kept tabs on everyone. Banny seems to be in nobody's crosshairs. How in God's name could that happen? Well, let's find out. Seriously, Conrad. We better have quick results in our hands. If we don't, we'll be the first in line to be out of a job. Yeah. And you know, there might be a war. Just get up there and find where that shot came from. Report back to me when you're done. I have a few phone calls to make. Roger. I'm wondering if Neil is his superior, or if Neil is the superior in this case, or if Gary is the superior, like the chief kind of thing. Like, I can't tell the difference between the two anyways. Okay, there's nothing to scan out here. I wonder if you can skip the whole thing and not investigate anything at all. Nothing. So now we are in the scanning mode, I'm guessing. Yeah. I can't tell what's blocking me over there. But whatever, I guess. Oh, okay, let me... Can I sit on this? That would be hilarious. That I just sit here and just wait it out. Just sitting there, just sitting there, doing nothing, absolutely nothing, taking in the scenery. All right, I want to see a. I guess I want to check everything out. It seems pretty brief, anyways. It looks like. Neil, over here. It's always nice to see you, except you know, it's the middle of the night and there's a dead guy on the balcony. Yeah, well, I call that a Tuesday. It's Friday. For real. I'm glad you're here. Gary's been acting like, you know, himself. I'm just setting up my mobile lab and I could use your help. Our #1 priority is to find out where the shot came from. The chief already prepared a case sheet. Let me send it to you right away. He wants you to submit it as soon as you think you got it. So Gary is the chief. Okay. I can't tell because we never heard the word chief from anybody here yet. So I don't know who's rank on what, who's more senior than the other. I can't tell still. Which I kind of wish they'd kind of give us a little sense of who's a sort of rank. Because when Gary talked to Neil, it sounded like a subordinate talking to a head of security. But then when we get here, it's like Young says that he's the chief, Gary chief. And Neil is just sort of like similar or very close to his rank because of seniority kind of thing. Take a look around and talk to Manny's staff. Maybe they will give us get us closer to our answer. Got it. Oh, and one more thing. We're still missing an important piece of the puzzle. We didn't find the bullet yet. Let me know if you do. Alright, I'm on it. Alright. Sheet opens the bullet. And I'm guessing that's our quiz. Yeah, our little quiz thingy-mabobber. Alright, cool. This will be it for the episode. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Nobody minds. Hope you guys have a great, amazing day. Week, night, morning watching this. So far, I'm really getting into it. I think that so far it's like, I don't know, it's moving pretty fast, I think. A little bit fast. I wouldn't say too fast, but it's fast enough to kind of have a lot going on. I'm looking forward to where this case is going to take us. I'm assuming that it's going to take a lot of... No, I'm just assuming, yeah. I'm assuming that this might go a little bit further up to being like... I don't know, I'm feeling like it's like there's a movie that feels kind of like this. I don't know why, but it feels like a movie... Like one of those like old 1990s movies where there's just like this cop noir thing, but then they put in like a Bruce Willis noir film, I think. I don't know. There's a few Bruce Willis like films that I remember back in the past that had like the vibe of something similar to this. Maybe The Fifth Sense or something like that. No, not the Fifth Sense. I don't know I forgot what it's called. Like that futuristic movie with Bruce Willis and the famous orange hair lady with the weird attire, and Chris Tucker being like the singer guy. I remember that movie, but I don't remember the title. It's been a long time since I seen that movie. I think it's The Fifth Sense or something like that. I'm thinking The Sixth Sense because Bruce Willis was also in that one, which is the kid who said, "I see ghosts, I see ghosts." But my brain is just like kind of weird. But I feel like the vibe in here, it's just like very old school feeling so far. But it also mixes in with the sort of like similar writing of like new school writing that's like very similar to like Telltale Games kind of writing with the relationship between characters kind of thing. Primarily just the family aspect of the game is very interesting. That is very new school-ish in my mind. But the whole political problem and being a detective problem is kind of like old school in a weird way. Not many games I think do that. I don't think. I might be wrong. My brain is probably foggy because I'm just very tired from reading all this text and dialogue. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'm doing another episode after this, so expect that to come up eventually. So yeah, see you guys in the next one. Roz out.